Ready? Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the press conference for Egypt ahead of the FIBA Basketball World Cup 2023 in Manila, the Philippines. Playing in Group D, joined by Anas Mahmoud and Coach Roy Rana. Egypt making their first appearance at the FIBA Basketball World Cup since 2014. And before we start, can I just ask you to make sure your mobile phones are switched off, and we'll start off in English. Anas, if you could just give us a comment, please, about being at the World Cup with Egypt.
Yeah, well, it's a pleasure for us to be here.
Hold on one second.
I got it.
Gotcha. Go ahead.
It's a pleasure for us to be here. This is actually my first World Cup in the senior team. Never got the pleasure to show up with the 2014 team. This is the biggest stage of international basketball, and we're very excited to represent the team to the best of our ability and to kind of just show the world how far we have grown as a basketball program, but also as a country. And we're here to do the best.
Okay, thank you very much, Anas. Coach Rana.
Yeah, much of the same sentiments, right? I mean, an incredible honor to participate in the World Cup. This was a program that when we started, I don't think a lot of people believed that we could do it. And it's been a great journey here with some great people, and we have a passionate fan base. And we're really excited. We're really excited for the opportunity, one, to try and perform our best here, but also to lay a foundation for the continued growth of Egyptian basketball.
Okay, thank you very much. Do we have any questions in English? Just tell us who you are and who you represent.
Dovila from LRT Television, Lithuania. So I just wanted to ask you about Lithuania team, which is your first game. What could you tell about Lithuania as a traditional basketball country? How much do you know about them, and how hard competitors we're going to beat tomorrow?
You want to start?
Go ahead, Coach.
First of all, I'm very aware of the proud tradition and heritage of Lithuanian basketball. It's one of the few places in the world that, it's the official #1 sport in the country. Incredible respect for that program and what it's accomplished. Obviously, Ignas Bidzikas, Canadian Lithuanian, who I'm very aware of from my time in Canada, and so we have huge respect for Lithuania. We understand the challenge that's ahead of us, and we embrace that. It's actually very exciting that we have an opportunity to play Lithuania. I'm sure there'll be tons of Lithuanian fans in the building, even though we're in Manila. It'll be a fun environment for our players, and we'll be ready. We'll be ready to challenge ourselves to be the best we can, and we'll go for it. We'll go for it. But again, lots of respect for Lithuania.
Hello, I'm Marius Milašius from 15 Min Lithuania. I have a question about Iggy Brasdeikis, who you just mentioned. He played for some Canadian junior teams. You know him very well. How do you see his fit in Lithuanian national team so far?
It's great to see him not just wearing the colors of his ancestral roots, his country, of his parents, but also he's obviously a very key player now in the program in Lithuania, and he's a young player, so he's going to be someone I think is going to grow and be big part of Lithuanian basketball for a number of years. Obviously now playing in the EuroLeague in Lithuania, really happy for him. He's a very good player who has a lot of room to grow and get better. So I think all Lithuanians should be very excited about what Iggy can bring to the country.
Another Lithuanian that you know very well is Domantas Sabonis, who you met in Sacramento. How much of a relief for you is that he's not here in the World Cup?
Well, I mean, he's one of the best big men in the world, so it's tough for Lithuania. It's not bad for us, but at the same time, Jonas Valanciunas is also one of the best big men in the world. So there's no shortage of talent on the Lithuanian team. Obviously experienced, a little younger than they've been in the past, but again, right, a traditional basketball country who really understands how to play. And obviously, Sabonis is a big loss, but at the same time, there's a lot of talent there, and you know they're a really, really good team.
One last question from me to both of you guys. Lithuania is just, I think, 13th in the latest FIBA World Cup power rankings. Where would you put them if it was your decision, both of you?
You're talking about the power rankings? Okay, which are not official. It's just done for fans, but where would you put them in the power rankings?
I mean, geez, that's a tough question.
Yeah,
You know, I mean, certainly they're, if not, you know, where they are right now in those power rankings, they're a top 10 program in the world. There's no question about that. Whether they're 10, whether they're 8, whether they're 13, I'm not sure. To be honest, I don't really pay too much attention to the rankings. We just do our job. We watch the film. We try to prepare for an opponent.
Yeah, I would say the same thing. I mean, I don't really know who are in the top 10 to begin with. I know some teams lost a lot of key players who were supposed to be coming in, like Greece lost Giannis and all that. And Lithuania, obviously, Sabonis, if he was here, would definitely be in a different team. But I would definitely have to look at the top 10 first and see where I can put him. But like Coach said, they're a proud program, and I would always count him in no matter what.
Okay. Yes, Takashi Aoki from Japan, Yahoo. Japan?
Your friends, Coach.
Ask away.
Coach, what was the biggest challenge coaching in this team? Is there any similarity between Kyoto and Egypt?
Yes and no. Obviously, you know, a program that is growing and evolving. The difference, I think, is that, you know, in Egypt we have some veteran players who have been through a lot, who've been in a World Cup before, so we have some veteran leadership, which is a little bit different than in Kyoto, where we're starting from like a blank piece of paper and starting a program from scratch. So a little bit different, but there are some similarities. Obviously, we're trying to grow young players and trying to build a program that can be successful over a long period of time. So there's some similarities, but from a player perspective, you know, we have some players in Egypt that have been in the program for a number of years, which not necessarily the case, you know, in Japan.
So as a coach, your coaching career, so what does this World Cup mean for you?
I would just, you know, I said this to one of my players as I was talking to him on the court. You know, I started as a high school coach in Toronto, and here I am in my 5th World Cup now. This is number 5, coaching Egypt. You know, I've been to the Olympics with Germany. I've coached Canada's senior national team, won a world championship with them. It's just unbelievable. Like, how did I end up here? Like, you know, it's always like, I just kind of like, it's almost a little bit dreamlike, right? It's not real. So it's something that I treasure. I don't take it lightly. You know, it means a lot, because I will say this, you know, a lot of questions have been about Lithuania and Kyoto. Like, this is a very proud country. This is a federation that's put a lot of energy and resources into building the game. These are great basketball players. I think over half of our roster could easily play in many countries in Europe. I think it's important for everybody to understand that we're one of the few countries in the world that qualified for the World Cup using 95% of our players played in the domestic pro league in Egypt. We only had one player who played outside of Egypt. That was Asim Rai, who played in Korea. Every other player played in the pro league in Egypt, so which is a very unique story. And I'm just proud to be a part of it, because I think these young men, they really deserve it.
Thank you.
Just a question that we had for Anas. You've played in the AfroBasket before.
Yeah.
This is obviously a different tournament. What are your feelings coming into a World Cup versus going into an AfroBasket?
Well, I mean, they're similar but different. Similar in the sense where, you know, when the light comes out, you know, I try to do the best of my ability to lift in the country flag, right? And really, like, I even said that to the guys a couple of days back. It's not really about us personally, but once you put on the Egyptian flag, it's about representing the team and representing the country, and showing again the world that basketball has actually grown and it will continue to grow. And you know, like personally, I try to do the best to do what I'm capable of doing and what I know I can do. But again, you know, like World Cup, this is the highest level, right? So for me, it's just a pleasure. I'm very, very happy that I can be part of the team. You know, I'm trying to take it all in. Tomorrow is the tip-off, and I'm very excited for it.
Anas, another question that we had sent in was for you, if you could just describe the evolution of Egypt. Has there been an evolution, a huge change with Coach Rana coming on board and taking the reins?
I mean, I would say that I played back in 2013 when I was 17 years old with a senior national team. And it's been a roller coaster, right? We qualified back then to the World Cup in 2014, and then since then we kind of just slipped down a little bit. We did have a chance to qualify to last World Cup. Didn't go as well as planned. We ended up actually coming out short, or 1 game short. I wasn't really a part of the qualifiers. And then we went to the AfroBasket, kind of just like everything fell down apart a little bit. We ended up 13, I think, in the AfroBasket, or 11th. And then kind of like the roller coaster has been going up since Coach Roy came in. And I think just that comes down to the commitment that he has been asking each one of us to kind of put into the program, but not just players, but also the federation. And everybody's been hand-on, and people have been really, really dialed into the kind of like evolution. I would say that word too, I would use it. But also kind of just like putting in the effort and seeing it, how far it goes. And so far it's been working so well. We're here, right?
Okay. Are there any more questions? If not, Anas, we were also asked if you could just say something in Egyptian to your people in Egypt and the Egyptians all over the world that are going to be no doubt pulling for Egypt at this World Cup.
اوكي. يعني اول حاجه بس حابب اقول ان احنا هنا في كاس العالم، يعني بكره اول ماتش لينا ان شاء الله. هدفنا واضح وصريح ان احنا نوري العالم كله الباسكت في مصر قد ايه اتطور السنين اللي فاتت، وان احنا نلعب احسن باسكت بول واحسن فيرجن بالمنتخب المصري ان احنا نقدر نلعب له. يمكن ناس كتير ممكن ما تبقاش متخيله مصر ان هي توصل للليفل دوت، ولكن احنا عندنا ثقه كبيره جدا في اللعيبه اللي موجودين وفي الجهاز الفني وفي كل الناس اللي ساعدتنا ان احنا نوصل هنا، وان شاء الله نقدر نبريزنت مصر بالشكل اللي فعلا يوقف فيها حقها، ونعمل حاجه كويسه لمصر كلها والشعب المصري كله ان شاء الله.
Okay, well, thank you very much for coming. Get some rest, and we'll see you again tomorrow.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
Thank you.